Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. So we are in Brindleton Bay on this 20 by 20 lot. We're building a tiny home for a single mum and her 2 children, and I just want to start this video off by saying this was not my initial plan for the video for this weekend. I was initially planning on filming an on-camera video renovating an EA house, which will be coming within the next few days, I hope. The reason that I've had to upload this one is because I dyed my eyebrows yesterday and they're basically like black and I have naturally ginger hair, so I look ridiculous right now. I've tried everything to try and calm them down. Luckily I woke up this morning and they are a little bit like more toned down than they were yesterday, so I'm hoping in the next few days I will be able to film our EA house renovation that I was planning on putting up on the channel today. But do you know what? I'm actually really happy with this house, so I'm not too disheartened about anything. At the end of the day, you know, my eyebrows will fix themselves hopefully. So I just wanted to make it very clear, because I did go on my posts tab on YouTube and ask you all which EA house renovation you wanted to see, and so many of you had replied, so thank you so much for replying. So I've actually added them to a build list because I am planning on doing more house renovations, EA house renovations that is, on the channel this year, which I'm very excited for. But yes, so that's the reason that we're doing an off-camera speed build today, but nevertheless I really hope you enjoy this. So yes, this house is for a single mum and her 2 children. This house, funnily enough, look, it only has 64 tiles, which does make it, I believe, a tiny home. Now that I'm saying it, I'm like, is it a tiny home? I'm pretty sure it is. And we've got 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and we've got plenty of outdoor activities. We've obviously got the living, kitchen, dining space as well. I think I was able to floor plan this house in a way that really worked for the family dynamic that I had in mind. So you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if this is a house that you would want to use or are planning to use for a single mum and perhaps playing out her storyline. But I cannot tell you the last time I built a tiny house on the channel, and I was just feeling really inspired to build one today, so that is exactly what I did, and I'm really pleased with the overall result. I will pop the reference image on the screen for you now, because I found this on Pinterest this morning when I was just sitting in bed on my iPad. I was like, oh, I'll just go on Pinterest and see if there's anything that sparks my interest, and I came across that reference image and I was like, oh, I need to build this house. So heavily inspired by the reference image, I did make a few changes here and there just to make sure the house was in fact tiny, because I believe you can get different buffers and things like that from living on a tiny house and fulfilling skills and needs and things like that. So it's actually quite interesting for gameplay, and I do like a challenge every now and again. Typically I'll sort of stick within my comfort zones and with the parameters of what I'm comfortable with, but every now and again I'm like, okay, let's give myself a little bit of a challenge, and this was definitely a challenge. I had initially anticipated that I was only going to be able to fit 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and then obviously the kitchen living space in this house, but to my surprise, we actually managed to fit 2 bedrooms in this house. So the daughters, so I imagine there's a single mum and her 2 daughters in here. If you want to change up that dynamic, then please feel free, but this is just what I had in mind. So the 2 daughters, one is an infant and one is a child, and they do share a bedroom, but I was quite surprised when I got into that bedroom, and after a long period of time where I was trying to work out the layout for the bedroom, I decided on this layout and it worked. So we do have a crib in there along with like other baby things, you know, that your infants need to build up their skills, etc. through gameplay. And then obviously the eldest child has her own bed. They've got a wardrobe space, there's a changing table and everything like that. And I've just realised something. I forgot to put a bin in this house. Again, oh my goodness. Like, the last time I did this was when I built my split level house, and I forgot to add a bin to the kitchen and there wasn't a bin outside. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, I can't fit a bin inside the house, so I'll put a bin outside. And for some reason, I just completely forgot to put a bin. So for that, I do apologise. Look, I don't know what it is with me at the moment and forgetting bins, but clearly it's a problem that I'm having in 2026. I'm not entirely sure where this is coming from, because usually I'll be pretty good at remembering to put bins and any other items that your Sims require to just live a normal Sim life. So yeah, unfortunately I forgot a bin. So you're going to have to put a bin in this house if you do download it. But I think everything else is here, unless we watch this footage back together and I'm like, oh, no, I also forgot to add this. But you can see that the house is taking shape and it's looking really cutesy. I knew I wanted to experiment with this yellow siding and some pale green window shutters, and I just think it looks so cute. And I'm really into cutesy builds at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm kind of rolling with it, and I'm just really at the moment building anything that takes my eye and, you know, sparks that inspiration in me. There's nothing worse than working on a build and you're looking at it and you're like, ugh, I don't even like this. Why am I working on it? And then you just bulldoze the whole thing. I don't think at any point during this build I actually thought, oh, I don't like this, I'm going to bulldoze it, which is quite unusual for me. Typically when I'm building, I'll be really hard on myself, and if something's not working out quite right, then I'll be the first one to be like, okay, I've bulldozed this. The amount of times where I've started a build and I've worked on it for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know, an hour, and then I'm looking at it and I'm going, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. And then I just bulldoze it and I just feel like I've just wasted my time, you know? I don't know if anybody else does that. I imagine more people do that than we think. But yeah, and I did struggle for a little while here with window placement, because I think looking back, I maybe should have floor planned the build first. I think with tiny houses, it's important to floor plan first and then place windows afterwards. Otherwise, you really are dictated by where the window placement is as to where you need to put your rooms. But I did do a bit of shuffling with the windows to make the floor plan work a little bit better. And when we do start working on the floor plan, you'll see that I do mess around with the window placement a little bit, just to make sure the floor plan worked with each room and each room had enough windows, etc. So now we're trying to work on the floor plan here. This is my first attempt. Initially I was like, okay, well we've definitely got space for at least one bedroom. And then I was like, well, because she's a single mum and I was planning on her having more than one child, I was like, I really want to try and fit 2 bedrooms in here. And looking back, I'm not sure whether 2 bedrooms really works, because the actual living space is really quite small. But I think because I was thinking of longevity, you know, within this house and the Sims that you might want to move in here, they might want to stay here for a little while. So I thought, well, the kids can just share a bedroom. Mum can have her own bedroom. We've got obviously a full bathroom with a bath shower combination. And then we've got the living, dining, kitchen space, which is really cute. It ended up being so just colourful and just really cute, I guess. But it came out probably a little bit smaller than I would have liked. But remember, we only had 64 tiles to actually work with here, so I was limited with the space. But that is the whole point of building a tiny house, is that, you know, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge trying to fit everything in that you need, especially when you sort of building it for a single mum and her 2 kids. Like, you know, 64 tiles is not a lot of tiles to get everything in that you need. And then I pop back outside and just start working a little bit more on the landscaping and just adding some more details here, because if you remember that on the reference image, the landscaping was extremely sort of youthful, bright, colourful, and it really matched the whole aesthetic of the house. So I wanted to make sure that I got this right. And, you know, the back garden here, we do have a back garden in this house, which I was pleasantly surprised at. I was actually quite surprised at the size of it too. So it worked out really nicely. I made sure that I put plenty of skill building items out here for your Sims as well, so they can really maximize that tiny house opportunity and everything that comes with it. So I'm pleased with it. You'll have to let me know if there are any other tiny houses that you'd like me to tackle on the channel, maybe for a single dad, or should we try and build one for like 8 Sims? Look, I don't know why I'm trying to stress myself out this year, but clearly that's the vibe we're going for. So yeah, if there are any other tiny houses, sorry, that you would like to see me build on the channel, then please drop any comments and ideas down below. I would very much appreciate that. And then I do decide to add just some bushes lining the fence on this house, because I don't know what it is when I see especially like a really bright white fence. There's something in me that's just like, oh, I need to try and cover some of it to make it look a little bit less intense, I guess. So every now and again I'll line them with bushes. We have a swing set out here. We've got a little sort of seating area underneath an umbrella. One thing that I did also forget to add was a barbecue, which I'm quite surprised at. I will 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, add a barbecue to my builds, but for some reason with this house, I forgot a bin and a barbecue. So you might want to add both of those things when you move in here. Clearly, I don't know. I don't know what was going on while I was building this. Blame it on Sundays, maybe. I'm really not sure. Blame it on the eyebrows. We could blame it on the eyebrows. The black eyebrows with the ginger hair. Like, let's do that. Honestly, they're so bad. I'm gonna stop talking about them, I promise. But oh my goodness, I'm praying that within the next few days they calm down enough so that I can actually film my next on-camera video, because I've had this planned out for like a week and I really want to get it done. I've got 10 days off work. I'm on annual leave and I just want to get it done, and I'm scared that my eyebrows just aren't going to be cooperating. But anyway, it's fine, it's okay. We do, like I was saying, we do add some activity to the back garden here. So we've got like a little paddling pool, there is a little slide here, there's planter boxes, bee boxes, and then we do add a telescope, which I think I add maybe 50% of the time to my builds. If I come across it in the catalogue and I've got space for it, I will add it. I will definitely add it. But sometimes I do forget. So there's some bikes outside as well. There's a little chair on the porch. It's a very small porch, but a porch nonetheless. And then just trying to add a little bit more detailing to the landscaping as well. Trying to make it look a little bit more cohesive and matching up with the rest of the house. And then I move on to the actually decorating the interior. So I knew I wanted this to be light, bright, colourful, youthful, just really fun. And the first room that we work on is the kitchen, living, dining space. So I knew that I wanted to have the kitchen space sort of within this little corner here. It just made the most sense to me. I'd love to know if anyone would plan this house out differently to how I did. I'm always fascinated by how different people floor plan different builds, and I always amaze myself with tiny houses in a good way and in a bad way. But with how much I love clutter and just adding stuff to houses in general, tiny houses are no exception for me. I did clutter this house up, but I did remember to keep one counter free in the kitchen so that your Sims can actually prepare their meals as well. The only thing that we don't have in here are 2 spare counters for the, is it cook together option? So like the mum and the child would be able to cook together. But obviously, given the space that we had, I'm just pleased that I was able to have a free counter space, to be completely honest. So I was just trying to get in everything that I knew your Sims needed, obviously apart from a bin and apart from a barbecue. Completely my fault, and I'm so sorry once again, but I do end up cluttering up this little corner counter here, and I don't know why I just smacked my hands together. I'm not entirely sure why. When I talk with my hands, so maybe that's why. So if you are wearing earphones, I do apologise. You might have heard just a little clap there. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so we've got like some cute flowers in the corner, a cookbook and a candle. Obviously, I add candles to all of my builds without fail. I am a candle fiend in real life, and I've spoken about this as well on the channel so many times, but I'm a candle fiend in real life. So I add candles to 99.999% of my Sims builds as well. I'm not entirely sure why. I find candles very calming. They're like a de-stressor for me, and especially when they're just like an amazing smelling candle as well. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. And one thing that I've gotten back into recently, actually, just speaking about candles, I'm going off on a little side rant here, so I apologize in advance, but I've started lighting incense again. I was really into incense probably in my late teens, very early 20s, and I don't know what happened. I was browsing on Amazon and I was like, oh, I think I might get some incense. and I decided to get some incense, and I burn multiple incense a day. I feel like they help keep me relaxed, to keep me grounded, and I think they're great, honestly. I think as someone who struggles with anxiety and just being like a little stress head, I do feel like they help me a lot. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure why I'm sharing that, but let me know in the comments down below if you like, do you like candles or incense or anything like that? I'd just be really interested to see. I need to find my people, okay? that's what it is. So anyway, the kitchen space is done. The dining space, I'm going to use the term dining space quite loosely here because it's just a dining table, is done. Are done. And then the living room's done now as well. It's very, very plainly decorated. And, you know, given the space that I had, I think we did pretty well, to be completely honest. I've been itching to use that sofa from the high school years pack for the longest time. I know when we got it, I'm pretty sure it's from high school years, that green one. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's from high school years. I've been itching to use it, and I saw it in the catalogue, and it came in this really nice green swatch, and we're going for a bit of a green-based theme in this house. So I was like, oh, okay, let's use that. I think that works quite nicely. So I was quite pleased with that. And then I do add just a side table here, or an accent table, just with some clutter on. Initially, I was going to add some bookcases, but they were just too big, too clunky, and they made the space look even smaller than it already is. So I did decide against that. But what I did do is I added a stack of books instead, because now your Sims can grab a book from a stack of books and not just a bookcase. So I thought that was quite handy. And something else that I did remember to add in this build, I actually added a desk with a laptop on in Mum's room. I was quite surprised because I think it's something that I add maybe 60 to 70% of the time in my builds is a computer for your Sims to access, but computers and laptops, etc., tablets are so important in The Sims for, you know, skill building and finding jobs and just general stuff. So I need to start remembering to add them more in my builds, not just like 60 to 70% of the time. But yeah, the bathroom we just rambled on through because there really wasn't too much going on in there. But something that I did remember to add was like a teeny tiny potty for the infant to obviously learn and be taught how to be potty trained. So I was quite impressed with that. Didn't remember a bin, but remembered a potty for the infant. That's very interesting. Anyway, and then we start working on the girls' bedroom. It took me a little bit of time to try and work out sort of where to place the items that I thought would work best. And then I did decide to kind of put them each on separate ends of the bedroom. I just thought that worked out a little bit better, and I felt like it was a bit more realistic as well. And I tried to add, I don't know if you saw when we were working on the kitchen, dining, living space, I did try to add like a colouring table, but I just couldn't get it to fit. So I maybe could have fit one outside if I was really thinking about it. So if that's something that you wanted to add, I would possibly recommend adding it to the garden if you really wanted to. But I do use this wallpaper from the Adventure Awaits pack, which is a wallpaper I haven't really, I don't think, used as of yet. I can't remember if I used it when the pack first came out, because when that pack came out, I built a summer camp, and I can't remember if I possibly used that wallpaper when I built the summer camp. I'm going to go with no. So this might be the first time I've actually used it. I don't really think it fits with the vibe of the room, to be honest, but I feel like maybe when this mum moved in here, this wallpaper was probably already up along with the carpet, and she just decided to keep everything up and sort of work around it, which I thought was quite a nice idea. But I think it kind of half works nonetheless. So yeah, I did imagine that these two are sisters. Obviously, like I said, if you've got a different dynamic in mind, then make any changes you feel are necessary. That's absolutely fine. I kind of like, I'll sort of flick between deciding if they're sisters or they're brothers or they're brother and sister, and then doing more gender neutral rooms. I sort of flick between the different options, and just with this house in particular, I decided that they were going to be sisters. That's pretty much it. And then I just add some artwork to the walls here. I love this little mobile above the crib or the cot. I think that looks so cute and just adds that next level of customization to the room. We put some towels here, there's different artworks on the wall as well, and I just really wanted to try and make the space their own, you know, and we all know I love decorating kids' bedrooms. It's probably one of my favourite things to do in The Sims. And this was just no exception, and I think it looks pretty wonderful, so I'm quite pleased with it. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below which is your favourite room of this house as well. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. But yeah, let me know which is your favourite room. I feel like maybe my favourite room is the living kitchen dining space. I thought that turned out quite nicely. But this bedroom, it's cute. I do quite like it. I kind of like how mismatched it is as well, and how we sort of played around with different colours and textures and different themes and things like that. And I also love the fact that we've got 2 different age groups in a room as well. I don't think I've ever done that before. So again, the tiny house was really kind of making me work for that. And then lastly, we work on Mum's room. I did decide to push the bed up against the wall. I thought that worked best for this room in particular because it's quite a long, slender room. So I think this layout works pretty well. And we've got a bed in here, a bedside table. We also add a wardrobe, a desk, a laptop, and there's just some like artwork on the walls and things like that. It's quite a neutral room compared to the rest of the house, but I did want to sort of make the colour scheme somewhat match the rest of the house, you know, with like the more youthful, colourful kind of vibe, which I think we achieved with it. You'll have to let me know if you agree or disagree, but it's compared to the rest of the house, it's quite simply decorated, but I quite like that about it. I thought it worked superbly. And then this is where I add the wardrobe, which I think this one's from the Grange Mudroom kit, but it does work as a wardrobe. It functions as a wardrobe, so I think that's quite wonderful, really. And then this is the desk with the laptop on. So I think the daughters, well, especially the eldest daughter, possibly sneaks on in here and does her homework and things like that, but I don't think her mum minds whatsoever. So I just figured it was the best place to put a laptop because we had the space to do it. We've also got a smart speaker in here as well, which is something that I don't usually add, but decided to add to this build. But that is pretty much it for the sort of speed build portion of the video. So what we'll do now is we will hop back on in game and I will give you a live tour of the house. Okay, so that is our house all done. So here it is from the outside. I'm really happy with this. You'll have to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And I think there's a rainbow in the background as well. Like, how perfect is this? Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed. Okay, so we've got a little seating area over here with an umbrella over us. We've got a couple of bikes here on our little porch. We've got a very small seating area, but a seating area nonetheless, with a couple of plants here. And I am obsessed with this mailbox. It fits the vibe so beautifully. I don't think I could have wanted anything more for this house, to be honest. And then we have our swing set here. And then if we move on to the back garden, we've got our telescope, a little paddling pool, a slide, a couple of chairs, some large planter boxes, some smaller planter boxes, and some bee boxes. So that is the outside of the house. And then on the interior, we've got our quite small, quite cramped, but very cute nonetheless, kitchen, dining, living space. I think it works so beautifully with the overall vibe of the house. I think we tied in the colour schemes really nicely, and it just, I'm obsessed. I actually am obsessed with this space, genuinely. And then we've got our bathroom here. There's not too much going on in here, to be honest, but it's a very functional space, and it's a pretty big bathroom considering the size of the house as well, which is quite a pleasant surprise, so I do love that. And then this is the girls' bedroom. This is a shared bedroom between a child and an infant. I know, the chaos that is going to happen in this house, honestly. But I think it turned out really nicely nonetheless. I love the wallpaper that we went with, along with all the kind of different colours and different colour schemes and just like vibes that we went for in here. But ultimately, I think they work together quite well. And then finally, this is Mum's room. Probably the most plainly decorated room of the build, but I think it still fits with the overall vibe of the house quite well. We've got our bed here with some artwork, a little bedside table with a lamp on, our wardrobe, and then, of course, our desk with a laptop on. Like, who knew that we could fit this sort of stuff in this house. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the tour. So if you'd like to download this house, it's available from the gallery right now. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box just below. You can get them from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. You all take care, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye!